Wishing you a very beautiful day. Milangela, your host, coming to you again from my soul garden. But today with a very special treat. And I'm not going to reveal just yet what is going to happen. Let's keep it a secret. But I do invite you to stay tuned, to stay with us and allow your soul to be caressed in a very special way. Now, some of you may have listened to my meditation that I created early this spring. It's really a very short meditation, 10-minute guided meditation with powerful music. And the purpose of that meditation really was to help you charge your batteries, to make you feel better so that you could go on through your day in a better, more loving way. And intentionally, I used very, very strong music composed by my dear friend Imagine Art Media. Now why? I believe that the effect of music is just awesome on our bodies. So when the music strikes that special chord, a lot is going on in our body, and things that we no longer need just, fall off. And now I'm going to make this parallel with, I don't know, crusty, muddy boots. If you imagine dirty boots, and if you imagine what happens to them when you bang the soles together, all the crust, all the mud just falls off. Now, when I meditate with very powerful music, or when I allow the sound to enter my body, to sort of permeate my body, this is exactly what happens. All the mud, anything that I don't need just, falls off. And afterwards, I feel fresh and light and smiling. So you would understand the importance of sound to me. And it's beyond words. And it's not really important whether the sounds be natural sounds like, birds singing or wind blowing or leaves rustling or waterfall, or music composed by people. But they both are just amazing. And amazing, when I say amazing, of course, on condition the sounds, the vibrations are aligned with all the nuances of our souls. Now, when we are trying to heal from trauma, neglect, or dis-ease of any type, basically what we need to do is we need to find the way back to us, to that sacred, to that special intrinsic part of us, hidden deeply inside of us. And I've learned that music in search of that is such a faithful companion. Now, if you are one of those people, or even if you're not, I do invite you to be surprised at this point and to just let go of all the worries, to forget the burdens, to forget the mails waiting for you. Just, trust and close your eyes. Maybe before you do that, try and find a very cozy, quiet piece of, a quiet corner in your home, and make sure you don't get disturbed. Just trust and relax and close your eyes and forget about the monkey mind. Now I invite my guests to take on from this point. Dear guests of mine, can you please caress our audience the way only you know how to? The stage is all yours. Well, I don't know about you, but my hair just stands on end. This was incredible. Upala Yavin.
Do you see us still?
Thank you ever so much for this, for sharing this. It was just, as I said, my hair just stood on end and I was just shivering all over the place. Amazing beyond words, really. So welcome, Yavin and Upala from Belgium, but currently Turin, and you are where at the moment?
We are in Portugal, in the south, in the Algarve.
Doing what?
We are currently working on our business, Songdance, helping people to also use their voices for authentic expression, for healing, and being more empowered and more authentic human beings.
And what is the sort of feedback that you get?
Oh, many good feedbacks.
Yeah.
Yesterday, actually, we hosted an online meetup, which is kind of a gathering with all the people on the course. And there was this beautiful lady of 84, a therapist. And she said, I've been searching for what you offer for 30 years.
Oh
And,
my
uh,
goodness.
and now it's there. I found it. And it's quite unique, she said. And so that was really special to hear from this lady. Yeah.
A noble mission that you have. Right. So I suppose it's about time I say a few words about you and give our listeners a proper introduction of you. So Upala started her professional career as a biochemical engineer. Working in the pharmaceutical industry for 8 years, she felt a deeper calling arising in her, which motivated a career shift. She completed several courses in energetic therapy and studied health, food, and other related topics extensively. She deeply connected with her natural affinity for beauty, truth, and spiritual depth. After overcoming a life-threatening illness whereby her speech got severely impaired, she experienced first-hand power and effectiveness of authentic singing. She co-founded Songdance with her partner Yavin and is responsible for strategic planning and the design work. Together they create courses, host live sessions, and organize workshops and retreats. And Yavin, on the other hand, taught himself to sing and play the piano at a young age. He is a naturally talented musician who received his master's degree in public management, but his passion for music and spirituality gradually steered him in a different direction. During his live performances and while teaching singing, he discovered the transformative power of music and voice. With a growing interest in psychology and spirituality, Yavin began organizing singing workshops and retreats at the age of 25. He founded Songdance in 2018 together with his partner Upala. He uses his musical talent combined with his strong technical skills to co-create the sessions for the online courses and also facilitates the live workshops and retreats. Yavin is also active as a musical artist under the name Yavinodan. Right. Now, having explained some of the basics, I'd like to ask you the very obvious question. How did the two of you meet?
No, that's a beautiful story, actually.
Yeah.
We, 4 years ago, we met and we got a relationship. Then we got together. And before that, 2 years before that, we met each other on a constellation
Workshop.
Do you know constellation? And there we would play a couple, and we are put in this scene, a couple scene, and we felt immediately in love, and yeah, and it was so intensively that we felt that loving. And yeah, after the course, after the workshop, we split and didn't see each other for 2 years, but always you stayed always in my memory. And he also, that's the point, is
You also in mine.
yeah. And then we met on we met again on a workshop that he about voice and transformation that he would give. And I was invited by a friend of mine, and I saw the hosts, I saw the teachers, and I immediately recognized him, and so I
You
signed
must
up.
have been, you must have been amazed and so pleased.
Yeah,
I would
yeah. I
imagine.
was so nervous. I was so nervous to meet him again. And yes, that was amazing. And then we had a date, and we went drinking already, eating something after a workshop.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we completely fell in love with each other on the first time we saw each other, and we knew that he was the one. I knew
Mm.
that
The
he was the
spark
one.
was there immediately, and it still is. I can see that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, your speech was badly impaired, Upala.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? So what had happened to you?
Oh, I was 3 months after I was be set up Songdance. I was diagnosed from a brain tumor that's pushed against my left side of my brain, and I lost my capability to move my right arm and right leg, and I lost my speech. And yeah, that's what's happened. That was in September. And I
2018.
yes, and um, and the doctors wanted to take a biopsy, but I refused. And I was definitely sure that I could find something in the alternative world, and that I just had to clear my yeah I
Blockages or
yeah, blockages, and I just had to clear my blockages, and that then
So at that stage, you were already not capable of talking, was
no,
it?
I lost my speech slowly, and from 3 years from 3 years before, I started to notice that my speech slightly went down, and when I got an epileptic insult, and that was the state of my diagnose, the needest time of my diagnosed. Um, then it was I I was struggling even more than I was before, and then it's 3 months later till I was had a surgery, because I had to do it because I couldn't move my arm anymore, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't speak anymore. Um, then I had to be um, adopted in the hospital, because I should have died. Till the latest point, I tried to find. I did all kinds of alternative diets and all things, and but it was too far already. So yeah,
So after the surgery, you were okay, and what happened then?
yeah. It was a surgery where I was 3 hours awake during the surgery with my skull open. And because I had to speak during
The
surgery,
operation? Hmm.
the operation, and get the reaction from my hand, and so after the surgery, I had to slowly revalidate and put again the arm I could move very quickly, and so I and my leg came up also stay very stable, and I had to do some kidney, of course, and people helped me for again make my body move again. And yeah, and yeah.
So and then that's how you also probably even more strongly believed in the power of authentic singing as well, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yes.
because before the surgery, um, when I couldn't speak anymore with words, we in the hospital we went to the before the surgery. We went to the stairwell because there was such a good acoustics, and I I sounded my emotions out. I don't know if it's an expression or not, but I had the ability. I couldn't speak and I couldn't have words anymore, but I could, by sound making, have the ability to sound and let my emotions to express my emotions. And yeah, I sung for I was afraid, and I was for losing a song for making sound for losing each other, and also for the gratitude that I felt in that stairwell. And yeah, and I just for a minute couldn't think anymore of it. My mind was blank at that moment, and yes, it was like a meditation. And yeah.
So
um,
actually you voiced your fear, your
yes.
pain, and you let your emotions be free by doing
Mhm.
so, by
Yeah.
just singing. How beautiful that is. And it's helped, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So,
because that was one of the blockages. I felt not being able to express my emotions. This was the whole time during childhood. I wasn't able to express my emotions, and then at that time I could finally do it, and I could finally express my emotions, and I could had found the way of doing it, not by words, but by sound making. And that's a we experienced that it was a great tool, because there's not no many words. The amount of words is pretty less than the amount of be able to make sounds. And you could we experienced that you could be more expressing yourself by making sound than by words.
mhm. So
Yeah.
you were free in many things there. Apparently you had been bottling things up, and sometimes even with people who can actually talk, things cannot be expressed through words, but just
Yeah.
to let go of the worry and scream and shout or whatever it is that we do, um, is such a relief. And I'm sure this is what authentic singing is really all about. Now, to say a few words maybe about authentic singing, I borrowed the description again from your homepage, and I quote, "Authentic singing can be best understood as making sound for the energy of the moment." Songdance's slogan is "Sing Your Truth," which is the essence of authentic singing. Rather than trying to be a good singer or achieve a certain result, authentic singing is all about using your voice to allow and to surrender to whatever comes up and wants to be expressed and heard in the here and now. This is so beautiful. And the end of quote, of course.
Yeah.
Now, when I attended your free webinar, it was just so amazing. I mean, the atmosphere was absolutely relaxed. And when you, Yavin, said that you muted us all, I felt sort of, okay, no one can hear me. No, I'm fine, and I just went with the flow, and I let go of all the worries. And at first there were sounds coming out from my throat, and I thought, ooh, that's strange. But then I could not help but also try and sing a bit. Now, is that the right way or the wrong way, or there is no such thing as the right or the wrong way? Yavin, what do you say?
I don't think there's a way like right or wrong. It's really about observing whatever comes up, and the mind will always create a story around that. And when you can observe the mind and you keep the flow going, you keep on taking a breath and making the sound, and I think that's the way. And then how it exactly unfolds, there is no right and wrong in that. Yeah.
And it's not important, and you shouldn't be scared of it, because at first it was like a shock to me. Oh, what is this? But in a while you get used to what's going on and you just relax. So I so recommend you do this, dear listeners. It is such an experience. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it's beautiful. So please do try that. But it's not only just to listen to you. I love listening to you. So whenever the occasion, I love listening to you. But it's more than that, is it? I mean, to actually feel what is going on, and the way I understand it, things happen in the body when there's this certain frequency and vibration. Can you maybe go a bit deeper in that, Yavin, and explain what is going on?
The way I see it right now, but it's in constant evolution. Also, my understanding is still growing every day around what is happening. And I should state, I'm definitely not a scientist. I did not study this as a scientist, more from an artistic perspective, more from an aesthetic perspective. And the way I understand it is that the system, the body, and the whole, energy field around it is very intelligent. And it works aligned with intention, with your life's path, and it will really, really support you to, in a very intelligent way, to bring some things to the surface which are ready to come to the surface. And there are waves of in life cycles, but also in our own system. And the more we use tools such as authentic singing, the more we can learn to recognize these waves coming and then surf on it, rather than maybe being overwhelmed by it and, oh, what's happening to me? And I feel so strange and then starting to drink or eat chips or watch the television, to kind of suppress the wave. When you learn to recognize, there's a wave, something is coming up, a cleansing, an insight, and then you can use the sound to really surf the wave. It's the best way I can say it. It gives you the board rather than you drown in it. And the sound will really, you learn to listen and recognize. And these are a sort of understanding that comes, which is beyond words. For instance, if you I can now put my hand on my heart, and I just ask my heart, what is your sound today? And I would sing, like this little voice says so much. It says, okay, the heart is calm and it's gentle today. There's a certain fragility in it, but also a stability. There's so much, and then you can start to explain and have all sorts of words around. But we are very good at understanding in a holistic way what this sound means. And that's what it's about. The brain kind of, just by this one sound in a holistic way, understands what is going on. And this is not a linear thing. This is really an encompassing truth that the sound brings. And I guess the way that when you have a frequency and you have the same frequency going against it, then then it cancels itself. I don't know if you know this. It's a thing in physics with sound frequencies. Well, I guess if there's a certain trauma stored in the cells, which is ready to kind of be released, and you sing the energy of that trauma, you give it sound, then it kind of goes against it and it dissolves, it releases. This is a really powerful thing, and it's always beyond the story. Like we always say to people, yes, make sound for your anger, yes, make sound for your grief, but don't see your father there at who you are angry and shout at him. That's the story. Just feel the energy of anger. Whatever story, let the story go. Just feel the energy in your system. I'm without story now, but I allow the energy of anger to just be.
Wow. So am I right in thinking this is not only like, or it takes an individualist sort of approach, but you change from minute to minute. This minute I'm happy and I want to be happy. The next one, or in a 2 hour time, I may feel depressed and I would have then a different sound. My question would be, when you do the authentic singing, like live, do you actually feel us all behind our computers, or do you go with our flow as well, or how are things done really?
Yeah, very interesting question.
Mm.
Again, something that is still very much in motion within myself. So there's multiple points of information at such a time. One point is my own conditionings, my own fears, which I more and more start to recognize and know their energy identity. For instance, there would be for me the fear of not being good enough, of that people don't like what I bring, right? And that's an energy informing me. But now that I know this energy, I can just feel that energy without letting it carry my action. So it's like just there. Um, but then I also feel many different energy points from different individuals in the group, which I could tune into. Let's say it would, if you have like a green energy and a yellow and a red, and then it would first form this kind of color palette, but then there would be clusters. And I would start to feel clusters in energies like, yeah, there are certain people who are like really very joyful and happy, oftentimes with something underneath still, but they would like feel, I want to just have fun and sing my voice, and yeah. And that's oftentimes a big energy that is there. And then there's also people who are actually processing a lot of stuff and who just want to feel the comfort, feel the safe space of their voice, and use the voice to go deeper. And so there's these clusters, and then it's always a matter to navigating through the different clusters to give some kind of a compromise. And this is not something that arises mentally, but then it's a surrender to the inspiration and trusting that the inspiration that comes then is just right for everyone there. There will be something in it for everyone. And it's so interesting that we often then hear feedback from people that the same music or the same kind of exercise is used in so many different ways, is interpreted in so many different ways. Like even words, people really hear what they need to hear or want to hear, but often need to hear. Really, really interesting.
It's amazing how you always get what you radiate. If I'm happy, what I get is happy, smiley faces. If I'm angry at someone, what I get is not nice. And now I know it, and most of the time I try and fix that. It can't be done always naturally, but what I'm saying is, when you realize that you are the key to whatever is going on around you, things change incredibly, and this is amazing. And I'm observing you when you perform. You just seem to be elsewhere, lost in heaven, probably. Just fusing all those energies, and I can actually see how you feel us all in a way, and this is amazing. So Upala, sorry, you look amazing, and you look very, very beautiful and charming. So what is your recipe for such appearance and this kind of radiance that you emanate?
Yeah, I guess I just open my heart, and it's a good way. That's I just be there extremely in the moment, and open my heart, and love is flowing, and yeah,
You just
that's it.
enjoy love and you live for the now. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Right.
easy, but
Not so
Very
easy.
easy, but very profound. Very
Yeah.
easy. Simple in words. Love. I would say love. As I said, before we actually started recording, when I look at you, beautiful people, really what I see is 4-letter thing, and it's love all over the place. How with care you look at Upala Yavin, and then Upala without words just returns the smile. This is so amazing and it's so contagious. Okay. I love you, really.
Thank you.
Yavin, you also perform and improvise at railway stations under the brand Yavin Nodan. So where did this idea come from and how do you feel performing out there?
Yeah.
wait a minute.
That's perfectly fine. Life happens, so we can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, as I was saying, full of love he is for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
How did that idea come? Yeah. Um, it's been a while that I've really performed as Yavinodan, and I do miss it. And one day I'm sure I will have a band together again and perform my songs. I've not done anything with my songs, not nor written. I've been really these past few years using all the creative flow in me to support other people to engage with authentic singing. We've created 40 sessions of about 30 minutes. So that's been a huge work, a huge creative endeavor. Um, but there was a time before that, and now I have to go back a couple of years before Songdance that there was no Songdance. So my creativity was much more used as an artist without being it having a certain function, because now the creations have a function. It's to serve other people. But when you allow yourself to just be artist without function, there come things that are more um, less direct, I should say. Maybe more just a pure expression, and maybe also not for everyone, not so broad. Um, and it's a different energy. So you asked about the train station. I guess what happened in the train station was very interesting. I saw this piano there, I remember, and I just felt drawn to it, drawn to play something. And I asked a random people to take my phone and to make a clip. And I sat down and I started playing, and it just flowed. And before I knew it, there were like 20 or 30 people gathering around. And afterwards the girl said, yeah, I'm actually videographer. And that was actually a beautiful
That's
coincidence
incredible. That's
because she
incredible.
did
I was
nice,
thinking whether it was you who brought the piano there. I had all sorts of questions.
no,
So you were
it
just
was this
drawn to the
project
piano.
of the public piano. And it was just this beautiful coincidence, I guess. And yeah, that was on YouTube that I posted this, and it just got viral. It just got viral. And
So Brussels and Ghent, anywhere else?
no, I actually didn't do anything more with that. I could have, but I guess my soul had other plans.
Yeah, to be of
If I,
service.
yeah, to be of service to, yeah, I think there's many great artists in this world, and I think it's a difficult balance. And I think many artists miss somewhere in that balance the point of the ego, that they become artists and the fame and they lose kind of that artists are also fundamentally in service to the awakening and the conscious growth of humanity. I believe that very strongly. But somewhere along the way, maybe it's the system, maybe it's the ego, whatever, they lose themselves a bit. And I'm very humbled by the experience of Songdance and by just creating for other people. Yeah,
And it
it's a very
shows at all levels.
mm.
Maybe for the end, your advice, Yavin, to people who feel that, their bodies are out of harmony, lacking health, a willpower really to do anything at all. And most important is to lack something that you have, that sparkle in your eyes. So what would your advice be to those?
There's various elements in your question, which are, I might have to split a bit of the words. I think if there's no will, or if there's not really, I strongly believe that there needs to be a point in everyone's life that you say, like, okay, now I'm going to change things. Now I'm going to do things. Nobody or nothing can really help you if there's not that.
No impetus, no sort of wish to go for it, to go for something. You
exactly.
need to find yourself. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that, yeah, indeed. We cannot give that. No single tool can give that. But once you have found that, I do believe the right tools will come on your path. Whether it is something with food, whether it is something with your body movement or another creative expression such as more drawing, or it is sound, it will come for you. And I believe sound is a very powerful one, because it's vibration. So it's one of the most closest one to energy, because of the vibrational aspect. It's very, very dynamic, because the body resonates constantly as a vibrational field, and the voice is capable of pretty low tones, pretty high tones, everything in between. So you can kind of touch a lot of things very directly. Whether if you make a drawing, I think it can be very therapeutic to understand certain things, to also channel emotions, but it maybe will less reflect back on the cells immediately. So for instance, if you want to bring resonance in your belly, and you concentrate and you make the sound, oh, you can actually feel the vibration in the belly, and it instantly communicates, and then the voice will change to give it like the changed vibration. It will change again. It will adapt, because it's so intelligent, if you allow it to be so, to give exactly what you need. And that's why I believe it's a very powerful medicine.
When I mentioned the webinar that I attended, I actually felt amazingly well afterwards, as if being massaged or something like that. Everything seemed fine, and I was smiling, and I was thought, wow, this is so amazing, and this is what I would recommend to people. Just go for it. Give it a try, and be surprised at what comes.
And this Sunday, the 6th of December at 11 a.m. Brussels time, or 10 a.m. London and Lisbon time, we are going to do a Christmas special. Wow. So with authentic singing, 1 hour on YouTube. Yeah, it's going to be nice.
So this coming Sunday, 11 in the morning. Right. Thanks for sharing that. And please make sure you are there, everyone. Right. Now we want to make sure that people won't have any difficulties trying to find you. Please give us your social media profiles.
Sure. So I think the easiest is you can find us just if you put on Google Songdance, and then you find our website, and then everything can be found on our website. At the bottom, the social media profiles.
Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful homepage. I just love it. What can I say for the end? Thank you for your time, and thank you for this beautiful, authentic singing. Thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable. And most importantly, thank you for the noble thing that you are doing, both of you, to be of service as my, as a person that I hold deep in my heart, Wayne Dyer says often, or said often, be of service, because when you do that, it's just amazing, and amazing things happen, and that's what you do. So thank you ever so much for being who you are, for doing what you do.
Thank you for having us on your show, and thank you for doing what you do as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was pleasure and honor having you both. So till next time.
Till next time.
Thank you. Thank you, the listeners. Till next time, make sure you keep smiling. Milangela.